Hi, I'm Stephanie Laska. I lost 140 pounds and created Dirty Lazy Keto. Thanks for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and enjoy the show. Chocolate keto brownies. Want an easy recipe today? Chocolate keto brownies? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, everyone. I cannot wait to share this with you because I love chocolate brownies. Now, do you? That is the real question today. Do you love chocolate brownies? Give this video, please, a thumbs up so I know this is a fun topic, something that's interesting to you. I feel like sweets are a common issue with us, right? During our journeys. I know it was for me. So if it is for you, let me know. Don't be shy because, you know, we're all in this together. And I think that during my journey of losing 140 pounds, there were so many highs and lows where I had to learn to deal with these challenges like chocolate cravings. I want brownies. I want sugar. I want this. I'm frustrated about this, or I wonder about this. So I'm trying to share a bunch of my tips and tricks and experiences with you so that maybe you don't have to go down some of those trip and fall hazards like I did. Okay. So I chose this particular photo of me before when I weighed close to 300 pounds because I'm going to come back to it in just a second and talk to you about some of the people in this photo besides me. But seriously, during my journey of losing 140 pounds, going down 11 sizes, there were two specific weaknesses that I really experienced, like some serious panic moments where I almost just completely fell off the 100% wagon and just almost, got run over, so to speak, by the wagon. And the two weaknesses, you could probably guess, because I've shared one of these before at least, and I have a big giant clue here in front of me. If you're watching closely and not listening, I'll give you an extra big clue. But one of them was the smell of popcorn. Oh, the smell of popcorn. How much I love thee. I love it. I used to work at a movie theater when I was a teenager. Maybe that has something to do with it. But I love the smell of popcorn. It really gets me sometimes. So that was one. And then my second giant weakness was the smell of, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, I'm going to get a big whiff of this. I feel like my dog Lula right now. I'm like, getting it. I'm bringing it in. It's the smell of chocolate brownies. So I'm curious what your weaknesses are. Do you have a smell or a flavor or something that really gets you? So go ahead and share so I'm not embarrassed about smelling, my little plate of deliciousness here. But I really want to hear what your weaknesses are and what challenges you're having, because that way it helps me figure out what videos and topics to share with you. I know sweets. I know that's one of them. But seriously, if this topic is interesting to you, if it's important to you, you want to learn more about sweets or chocolates or cravings and how to deal with this stuff, make sure you're giving me a thumbs up to the video and start making some comments below. Because today I'm going to teach you how to make chocolate keto brownies, a very easy recipe. Super duper easy, extra easy. And it is from page 209 of the Dirty Lazy Keto No Time to Cook cookbook. Because you have no time. Every recipe in this cookbook is going to be made in 30 minutes or less. That is the promise. So there's 100 recipes. None are repeated. I'm going to show you a picture. This is on page 209 so you can see what it is we're making today. Here we go. Doesn't that look just like the picture I just showed you? I know. I just showed you the real life brownies, and then here they are in the book. It looks identical. So I'm promising you a delicious chocolate keto brownie recipe today. And if you have your copy, it's page 209. If you don't, that's okay, because I'm going to teach you how to do it. People are excited, I could tell. Now, there's no need to spin the wheel today. I know that normally about this time I spin the wheel, right? I normally get out my big giant wheel. Oh, it's so dramatic. It makes me feel like Vanna White. I think I'm probably the same age as her. But I love the sound. It makes me feel like I'm at a game show. But I'm not going to spin the wheel today because I already know my prize that I'm going to give you. I am going to give a lucky person, a lucky keto dessert lover like myself, a copy of the Dirty Lazy Keto No Time to Cook cookbook. I'll mail it to this person, this paperback copy. I'll sign the intro and give it love and kisses and mail it your way. So if you want to win a prize, put that in the comments. This is going to be the prize for today's video. Okay. Maybe I'll even give away more than one. I'm very crafty and excited about prizes. You guys know that. Now, just to show you how special this recipe is, look at this. I'm going to show you the True Lazy Keto No Time to Cook cookbook in a different language. Look, it's all the way on the other side of the world. What language is this, people? It's been translated. Can you read it for me? It says the same thing, so that's a help. But look, all the recipes are translated. I think that is just super cool. Can you tell which language it is? You'll have to guess. Put it in the comments. I lost this book for a while. It was in my bookshelf. I mean, look how fun that is. Keto's the same, but everything else is very different. But so guess the recipe, guess the language that you could go buy this book in a foreign country. I think that's pretty special. So DLK is all over the world, people. We're global. We're big time. We're all over the place. Okay, so we want to get out our ingredients, all right? And I'm going to just run this real quick, what you need to get on hand. That way you can kind of think mentally like, okay, do I have that in my house right now? Do I have it? Okay. Then you'll know that you can get started and enjoy this deliciousness. Too sweet, right? Because you're like, I'm ready, people. I'm ready. So I'm going to get my baking dish out. It's a 9x9 baking pan. And I put a piece of parchment paper on the bottom of mine because my pan is so cut up from hundreds of thousands of brownie uses. It's like scraped on the bottom. But if your pan is fabulous, all you need to do is spray it with some nonstick cooking spray before you start. Okay, you don't have to do that, but I do because my pan is so sad. Isn't that funny? All the love and kisses that went into this little project. Lots and lots of brownies that I've made. So I'm going to go voila and open up my plate of fabulous chocolate keto brownie ingredients right behind me so we can get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is 2 medium avocados that are peeled, mashed, pitted, not in that order, peeled, pitted, then mashed. So 2 of them, medium, and I've already done that ahead of time. I always leave the nut, the center of the, the avocado, in a storage container when I'm trying to keep my avocado fresh. It helps it from turning that weird brown color. So that's my little sneaky trick. But I will definitely take the nut out when I go to add this to the mixer. So that is 2 medium avocados that are peeled, pitted, and mashed, prepped for our activity today. All right, next thing you're going to need is, reach over here and grab it, 2 large, oh, I almost spilled it on my keyboard. That would be bad. But I have here 2 large eggs beaten. Voila. Next ingredient is going to be 1/3 cup unsweetened 100% cocoa powder. Now, check your label on your cocoa powder. I used to buy my cocoa powder from like the Dollar Tree or 99-cent store. And one day I realized that it had sugar in it. And I was like, oh, I almost had a heart attack. So now I buy a better brand, pay up. And that way I'm not getting extra carbs. Because it's unsweetened. It should be naturally 0 carb product, right? So I have a 1/3 cup of unsweetened 100% cocoa powder right here on hand. I also have 1/3 cup, the same amount, of superfine blanched almond flour. You can buy whatever brand you like. I prefer Kirkland or Blue Diamond. And I get the superfine blanched almond flour. Also Red Mill, they make a good one too. Do you have a brand that you recommend or a place that you buy it? Tell us. Because some of these ingredients, you know, we need to save our pennies so we can enjoy recipes like this. We're also going to have 3/4 cup, got it right here, of 0 gram net carb brown sugar substitute. Some of you might be going, are you serious? That's a thing? Yes, it is. It looks just the same. Oh, and it smells just the same. It really does. I'm getting super excited over here. So this is a 3/4 cup. I got so excited I lost my place. This is 3/4 cup, 0 gram net carb brown sugar substitute. Oh, and it's Swerve was the brand that I used for it today for the recipe. And I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Oh, again, it smells so good. 1 teaspoon pure vanilla extract. 1 teaspoon, again, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Baking powder, that'll help it rise a little bit. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So those are the ingredients that we're going to need for our recipe. Pretty simple, right? You're like, okay, but I think I might have forgot one item that's super duper important. I cannot forget the 1/2 cup of sugar-free chocolate chips. Amen. I think I must have one right now, just to make sure that they taste so good. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm back. I had a little moment. Now, if you're tripping out right now because you said, Stephanie, I'm still at avocado. Are you insane? I am not insane. I swear that avocado is going to disappear. It's going to act like the fat that we need to bake. You're not going to see it. You're not going to smell it. You're not going to taste it. It's going to disappear, and it's going to give you that added healthy fat that you need in your delicious diet. And it'll make the brownies nice and moist and soft, and they're just going to disappear. So this is a great recipe if you have some avocados that are maybe getting too ripe or you're worried about you're going to waste. Well, then you just have to make yourself a plate of brownies. How's that sound? Now, this recipe, according to the cookbook, if you do all the math here, there's a nutritionist at Simon & Schuster that calculated everything for us. So we didn't have to stress and worry, but it's right here in the book. This is going to yield 12 servings, and it'll be 3 grams of net carbs per brownie. So how many brownies will it make? Did you know the answer? People get really tripped out on this. 12. So if the yield is 12 servings, that means it makes 12 brownies. That means when you're finished with your tray of brownies, if it yields 12, you're going to cut it into 12 pieces. You'll have to do that part on your own. And then each brownie will be 3 grams of net carbs each. Now, if you eat the whole tray, I do not recommend that, but it happens. Then how would you calculate that? It's very simple math because there's 12 servings at 3 grams net carbs each. So what would be the total amount of net carbs for the whole pan? Write it in the comments, and then I'm going to circle back and see if you got it right. I know that math was not that complicated, but believe me, this is a real issue for a lot of people. They really, really struggle with that part. They go, oh, it's 3 grams for Stephanie's entire recipe. No, that's not how recipes work. Not just my cookbook, but all cookbooks. You have to do it per serving, okay? All right. Now, before we start the whole directions and I start making it, because I have it all ready to go here. We're not playing. I got my mixer here in the office. I almost dropped the eggs in my keyboard. We're actually going to make these and eat them. Before we start doing that, I want to tell you just a quick story. So my daughter, you guys, she was making a plate. Remember I mentioned this picture to you earlier? This is my little girl. She was like 2.5 there now. She was a big, all grown up person. But this was pretty recent. She was making brownies, like the real ones, with the sugar and whatnot. And I was like, I can handle this. I've lost 140 pounds. No big deal. I'm not mean. If my kids want sugar or whatever, they can do anything. I'm going to do my own dance and I'll be fine. So I pretended like everything was great. And this is how I discovered that brownies were a big problem in terms of the smell for me, in terms of trigger. I thought I'd be fine. I really did. No, it did not. No, everything was not fine. So my daughter starts making the brownies, and you know how it is. They get in the oven. Everything's fine at first, but then the smell starts wafering all over the house. And it was like, woo, woo, woo. All of a sudden, it became a national emergency, a hazardous situation for me where I was about to fall off that wagon hard, you guys, and get run over by the wagon and then dragged behind the wagon because I smelled that chocolate, that real deal chocolate brownie. And I was like, I wanted it so bad. And I was about to rip that oven open and just get a big spoon and start eating the batter. It was a bad, bad, bad situation. So my mouth is watering. Okay. The emergency light is on. The mouth is watering. I'm freaking out. My mouth is I'm craving the food. You guys, I'm craving it. And I go into full panic mode. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So I'm putting the fan on. Like the kitchen fan, I'm putting the big ceiling fan on. I'm putting the fan on above the stove. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to plug my nose, right? I like get a big giant clip, walk around with my nose all plugged. I'm like, I can't breathe it. I can't breathe it. I'm trying to get everything, the smell out of the air away from me because I really, really was having a freaked out time. And it got so bad. This is kind of embarrassing. I'm going to tell you though, that I decided, what would the police do when they smell like horrible stuff in the movies, right? The police, what do they do? The police, here they come. Like when they're on the autopsies, like in the movies or on TV shows. What do the cops do when they smell something really bad? They take some, what is it called? That stuff. And they put it right here under their nose, right? What is that stuff called? I don't know. So that is what I did. I was like, if I were the police and this was an emergency situation, I would put some kind of different smell right under my nose. So I took a huge glob of peanut butter and I put it on my mustache area and had the fan going while screaming, trying to breathe in something different. And then eventually I think I grabbed the dog and just left the house and went for a walk because it was that bad. It was that bad. Did anyone laugh at my sadness? Because I want to tell you this embarrassing story because I want you to recognize how important it is to have an emergency backup plan, such as a copycat recipe for when a disaster or a really bad craving strikes. Now, it may not be a craving. It could be a situation, a sad situation, or a trigger of some sort where all of a sudden you've got to have X and you're about to fall off that wagon and get run over. Now, I'm not trying to be the food police here and tell you guys what to do, but this is what helped me get through my craving, and this is what has helped me be successful in my losing 140 pounds and keeping it off now for almost a decade. So I recommend that you get recipes and backup plans and backup packages and some emergency candy or emergency granola bar, whatever it's going to be. Have a plan and get it in place because when what hits the fan, and the super duper emergencies happen, it can be like, it can ruin your whole life in that moment, right? So that is why I recommend you get these copycat recipes, these emergency plans, and spend some time thinking about it before we make our recipe. Think about it. Is it chocolate for you? Is it something else? Make a plan. Now, I know that maybe some of you haven't thought about this. You're like, well, I want to avoid all this stuff. I'm trying to lose weight. Well, I disagree. This is a big chapter that I talk about in Extra Easy Keto. And I spent a whole chapter on this because I want to help you develop your own personalized plan for how to deal with these emergencies. And I give you suggestions, ideas. I give you some starter recipes and lists of what I do, but I'm going to walk you through and coach you through during the chapter on how you can create your own backup plan and your own, woo, woo. I like the little... I need like a car alarm noise, don't I? But I feel like we need to have this emergency plan, and I'm going to help you through that in Extra Easy Keto. So this is a perfect book, by the way, if you're a keto beginner, if you're looking to start over again, or if you are just a person who is really enjoying the keto lifestyle and you want to maintain motivated and keep your focus. So it's back to the basics. It's a 7-day format, and I think you're going to love it. So make sure you order your copy today. Okay, so enough of that chitter chatter. Everyone's agreed. No one is going to have the chocolate wafer smell come at them and then just cross their fingers. Everyone's promising. No one's going to just cross their fingers and hope it goes away. We're not going to do that. We are going to make that backup plan and get recipes and suggestions and ideas in front of us so that we can be successful. So, as long as everyone's promised, go ahead and get your oven preheated to 350 degrees. Like I said, get your brownie pan out. It's a 9x9 baking dish. You're going to just spray it with some nonstick cooking spray or line it with parchment paper, butter, your choice. Okay, it's up to you. I'm going to use Pam because I'm dirty keto and I use little shortcuts like this. Because why not? With my pan with all the cuts and whatnot. Butter flavored Pam. Smells good. Alrighty. And here we go. Here we go again. I'm going to put on some gloves, even though I'm in my house. Just because I don't want anyone to be upset. Now, I like this recipe because you dump all the ingredients at once into the mixer. If you don't have a mixer, you can use your, or you could use a food processor, whatever you have on hand. You're going to dump all the ingredients in except the chocolate chips. Those are going to go in last. So just go ahead and dump everything in. We're going to dump in the almond flour. We're dumping in the cocoa powder. Dumping in the brown sugar, zero substitute. The vanilla. And it's fun, just so easy. The 2 beaten eggs. I'm getting all excited, you guys. Let's see, the salt. The baking powder. And that was it. Oh, and our avocado. I'm going to use a little scraper guide to get the avocado into the bowl. And remember, I'm going to remove the pit. That would be so bad. You don't want to have that in there. So give me a second to scoop the avocado into the mixer. There we go. Ding, ding. Is anyone following along? Are you making it with me? That would be fun. All right, now we're going to turn on our blender. Oop. Got a little bit of avocado on me. That's why we had the gloves, right? We were very official today. Very official. You can blend this for 2 to 3 minutes until the mixture is creamy. And you're going to scrape batter from the sides often. Especially that baking powder. That's important that you get that mixed in, and the avocado. We would not want our chunks of avocado floating around. So I'm going to stop it and scrape. Notice one thing I'm not doing. Can anyone guess what I'm not doing? Is anyone doing that? Licking the spoon? You know, if you weren't here watching me, I probably would. How many times have you made a recipe where it's like, it'll make 16 brownies or whatever, 16 cookies or a dozen this, 2 dozen that. And then you go to make it and it actually turns out, like 6 cookies. Has that ever happened to anyone? Because you licked so much batter, you accidentally licked the whole thing. Yeah, well, it happens. You just have to be honest with yourself and say, well, that's going to happen. And then go ahead and count it in your daily net carbs, right? Count it. Don't ignore it. Don't pretend like it's not going to happen. Just be honest with yourself and say, yep, I'm going to do it. And it's fabulous. I'm going to love it. It's part of the fabulousness of it all. Da-da-da-da. We're happy, right? We're having fun. Look, my danger light is still on. Maybe that's why I'm not licking the spoon, because of my danger warning. What's your triggering food, you guys? Is it chocolate? Anyone else chocolate? Or is it ice cream, candy? What else could it be? Chips? Peanut butter? There's a big long list out there, and don't be shy about sharing what your triggering or challenging food is, because somebody here in our group might be able to offer you some suggestions or comments on how to deal with it, like a substitute dirty keto product that you could buy at the store, or a recipe that they found in one of my Dirty Lazy Keto cookbooks. That would be nice for them to point you in the direction, right? Be helpful. And remember, I mentioned at the very end, we're going to fold in the chocolate chips. These are the sugar-free chocolate chips. Fold those in at the last minute. By fold, I'll just go. Give it a couple of whirls. Nothing fancy. That's it. And then we're going to scrape the sides down. If I was doing this in my kitchen, I'd probably scrape it, maybe several times. But it's a little tricky to do while chit-chatting. Plus, I really want to lick the thing you do, and then you'll see me. So seriously, okay, so we're mixing, we're folding, and then we're just going to scrape it all into our brownie pan. I do want to know, though, do you guys have like a special brownie pan just like me? Because you love brownies so much. Anyone? That'd be fun. I can't be the only guy out there, right? And I'm just going to pour or spread evenly my brownie mixture into the pan. And it'll be nice and thick, just like you would expect a brownie mixture to be. So check that out. I'll hold it up. You got a good look? Oh, the smell is delicious. And it's very thick, very delicious. If you want your little portion for yourself, I won't tell. I'm going to scrape it and pour it into my baking pan. You can lick the spoon if you'd like. Well, fun story. I was making this for the group, prepping ingredients and stuff. So I obviously, had to make the recipe a little bit for myself. And it was fun because I made them with my daughter, who I showed you in the picture in the beginning, the one that was torturing me not too long ago with real brownies. And she had so much fun helping me. And she didn't complain one bit that these were the keto brownies. And in fact, she would not let me lick the spoons and all that because she was going to lick them all. She kicked me out of the kitchen and I was like, dang it, I really want some. She's like, nope, it's all mine. And then she did all the dishes and then proceeded to help me enjoy the brownies afterward. And I made them for the whole family. We had them for dessert that night. And I had to literally cut a few pieces and set them aside so that way I'd have them for you today because they were gone. The whole pan was gone. Pretty fast. So here we go. Doesn't that look exactly like any kind of brownies that you had in your previous life, right? These hit the spot, you guys. So it's tricks like these. It's copycat recipes. It's plans, emergency plans to keep you on track. They're going to keep you successful. You are going to bake this. Oop, it's starting to slide. You're going to bake this for 20 to 25 minutes until done. Everyone's oven's a little different, so I should say 20 to 25. Sometimes if you have a hot oven, it might cook a little faster. Or if you prefer your brownies to be a little bit gooier, you might pull them out sooner. But I want to show you what they look like when they're finished. Ready for that? I did show you earlier, but you may not have been paying as close attention as you are now. Oh, look at that. They are firm and chewy, and the texture is great, and they smell good. Heavenly. Heavenly. And I like mine a little bit gooey. Anyone like them gooey? They're so yummy. Yum, 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 yum. Delicious, delicious, delicious. So if you guys liked making fun little brownies and keto recipes that are for desserts, did you do the math, anyone? I'm going to look in the bottom and see in the comments. But did anyone do the math for the whole plate of brownies just in case there was an emergency and you ate all of it? Did anyone do it? It was actually 36 grams of net carbs for the whole thing. See? That'll change your attitude. Once you know what's in there, you're like, I don't really need 36 grams of net carbs. But maybe more than one. Maybe 2 or 3 or 4. Just do the math. Be honest with yourself. Count it and enjoy it. That's life. Delicious. And don't beat yourself up. Having a plan to stay on track is going to help you avoid an emergency where instead of having 2 or 3 brownies of this nature, you might go completely off the rails and eat, everything in the house. At least that's what I used to do. I would make Jiffy cake mix, and then I'd make cookies, and then I'd make brownies, and then I'd make the frosting, and then I'd eat chips, and then I'd have a soda. And it was like one more thing after the next, and it just never ended. I was never happy. And then I'd feel terrible about myself and quit whatever, healthy eating I was trying to do. So much smarter to have a whole plan of attack like this. And I'll walk you through how to do that in the Extra Easy Keto. I'll coach you through it because you need your own emergency plan, right? It can't just be mine. So if you do love making quick dessert recipes like this, stay tuned because I'm going to link up one right after this, which is called Easy to Make Keto Pudding Recipe. Easy to Make Keto Pudding Recipe. Everyone's like, oh, once we get going, right? It's fun. We can't cross our fingers and hope that things are going to work out. We have to do some research and get some plans and make a list and have ideas on hand. That way, when you have a pudding craving, you have your brownie craving, you have recipes and things to help you. So I'm here to support you guys on this weight loss journey. I know you can do it. So if you're not watching one of these videos here on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, there's all sorts of ways that you can check in to get that support. Everybody knows there's 8 books now. I know. Do you have all 8? Who are the rock stars? The Dirty Lazy Keto rock stars. There's 4 cookbooks. They have 100 recipes in each one. No repeats. They're all different. And what's great about the cookbooks too is that there's little tidbits and tips and tricks throughout. And the intro is also full of helpful information to help you stay on track. And then there's 2 restaurant guides, the restaurant guide and the fast food guide, to help you so that you can dine out and still make good choices. And then the Dirty Lazy Keto Get Started, which is the book that brought most of you here. And then the brand new book that I'm talking about today, Extra Easy Keto, where I talk about the emergency plans. So it's all here. And the videos and the social media and the support groups, it's all part of a master plan to help support you with your keto weight loss transformation. And day or night, you can always come on here onto the internet and be like, where's Stephanie? Where is she? I'm having a situation, right? Because I'm always here. I have so many videos. I have so many topics and posts to help coach you through all of these moments. So give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause because you did it. You did it. You did it. And now we get to eat brownies and I get to lick this. Okay?